U.S. President Joe Biden says he's hopeful that the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas could go on as long as hostages are being released after the militant group freed 17 more people, including a 4-year-old Israeli-American girl. Now, Hamas said it wanted to extend the pause in fighting, which will enter its 4th day and file an agreed day on Monday, if serious efforts were made to increase the number of Palestinian detainees released by Israel. 39 teenage Palestinian prisoners were released by Israel on Sunday, taking the total since the truce began to 117. Hamas said that it had handed over 13 Israelis, 3 Thais, and 1 with Russian citizens, and International Committee of the Red Cross confirmed it has successfully transferred them from Gaza on Sunday. And now joining me to discuss this is Dr. Oamien Roy Okhidievbie, a security expert and National Secretary, REMENAF. Thank you so much, Dr. Roy, for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.
A pleasure to have you join us as well. Now, Dr. Roy, how do you assess the effectiveness of the measures that have been taken to ensure the safety and release of these hostages in the situation?
Well, to be sincere, I am not satisfied, okay? Now, if you look at the narratives, there are faulty narratives around the conflict. Like people are ascribing it currently now to religion. The Muslims are on one side and the Christians are on one side. And some people are saying, no, these Jewish people, they are Hebrews, they are not Christians, they are not Muslims. And that is the narrative that always bedevils everything we do. We fail to look at the cognate lines. Now, in mediation and conflict resolution, I am a fellow in the Chartered Institute of Mediators and Conflict Resolution in Nigeria. And if you look at human rights that is being abused now, in Texas here, I just finished a program, a lengthy program on human rights as a consultant, global consultant on human rights. None of all these discussions, conflict resolutions, human rights, that agrees with 2 wrongs making a right. You know, so 2 wrongs cannot make a right. For these guys to have attacked, for these guys to have retaliated, these are 2 wrongs. Where do we draw the line? We have international organizations that are supposed to intervene in all of these things when the embers start to glow, not when it has got into flames and escalated. So NATO failed in that, in all of the things happening today in Russia and this other Ukraine. Now, Israel and Palestine, their issues have been running. Where is the United Nations? Where is China? Where is EU that are talking now after people have started to die?
Well, I mean, still talking about these challenges, it's obvious that both parties have not 100% made peace. So seeing how the situation is unfolding, what potential security challenges do you foresee in maintaining this truce and ensuring the safety, especially of the Israeli and Palestinian civilians?
Well, there's going to be pockets of crises, pockets of attacks after the truce, the seemingly truce. Because let me tell you, people have supplied weapons currently to Hamas secretly. Hezbollah has promised 1 or 2 things. Deals have been signed for attacks. People have been targeted to be attacked. Israel, on its part, has generated intelligence against XYZ people. So this hostage exchange scheme is just a time buying process. And all of these armies that have been built and armed and kept in secret places, what do you do with them after you call the truce? Because possibly they may take weapons into their own hands and begin to also attack. So we cannot just create a war and expect it to die down when everybody say we are done with the war. There must be pockets of escalations that should be expected.
So, Dr. Roy, you did mention international organizations and where they can come in. Can you provide more insights into the exact role that they're meant to play, like the International Committee of Red Cross, for example? What role are they meant to play in facilitating the release of these hostages and maintaining security, making sure that these people get back to their homes safely?
I would like to start from the United Nations Security Council. And I'm very, very disappointed, okay? Like when we saw what happened between Niger and other states in the ECOWAS, I was asking questions. Where is ECOWAS? Where is AU? When the issues that we create these coup d'etat start to rear its head, are there no sensitivity, no tentacles to pull? Where do you get your intelligence? Where is the United Nations Security Council? Are you telling me that they did not observe that there were movements, there were plans? Are you telling me that the United Nations Security Council is a reactive body instead of being a proactive body? You know, so if all of these things are happening like this, some of these organizations should be collapsed. Let's come back to the Red Cross. Now, the Red Cross, the role of the Red Cross. I am a member of the Red Cross, okay, because I like coming into all these organizations to have an understanding. Their role is to intervene to save life, you know, to rescue life, to present soft landing for people in crisis area, to make sure they have medicine, water, and a safe place to live, to interrogate the space and negotiate for soft landing for innocent people that are victims to any form of crisis. So those are the blanket roles of the Red Cross. The Red Cross does not carry arms, cannot insist in what United Nations Security Council is supposed to have done. So it's disheartening to see that we are creating opportunities for vendors to always supply palliative and all those other things and calling the Red Cross. NGOs are suspects globally currently because of the terrorism and the use of NGOs to infiltrate. So we are not happy that there is a situation, but whatever the Red Cross is doing must be in line with the dictates of its policy of existence.
Right. So from a security perspective now, what steps do you think can be taken to prevent future conflicts like this and, you know, hostage situations in that region?
I will be happy to see a situation where the United Nations will take a seat. I will be happy to see it analyzed and penalized after this situation comes to rest. Who is at fault? And everyone that is at fault at every point must be called to order. Is either you are giving an apology or you are giving a sanction or something must be done. Because if we continue like this, it will also go on forever. Ukraine and Russia, they are going over a year right now. People are tired of analyzing the Ukraine and the Russia situation. And now we are having another situation. We are having coup d'etat in a country in West Africa. We didn't address it. We have another one in Africa. We didn't address it. The AU was dumb and toothless. Then all of a sudden, it started to become a norm. When people get aggrieved, they call in the military to just take over power. And presidents too become elongated stay and abuse office. So in this situation of Israel and Palestine, we should, if we want to create sanity, look at areas of infringement on the rules of engagement, on the policies of cohabitation and the United Nations policies, and begin to ask questions. Who did what? Who is to answer for what? Who takes what penalty and sanctions?
All right, security expert and National Secretary of the Retired Members of Nigerian Armed Forces, Dr. Roy Oamien Okhidievbie. Thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you.
Pleasure.